have led to the loss of thousands and thousands of lives, and a situation that has remained unresolved for so long. We all know that Boeing is a company that has been known for designing a lot of applications and a lot of planes for that matter. But the Boeing 787, 747 and all its major variants of the planes have also been a subject of contradiction and a subject of debate on whether this consistent airplane crash that has claimed thousands and thousands of lives is really gimmicks or some thought down the drain. But today I wanted us to discuss this issue with reference to the Air India crash. Air India, which is also a Boeing plane, has claimed over 204 lives. 204 people have been confirmed dead, including 5 students, most of them who are medical students. So the plane crashed in a populated area, killing not just passengers, but also the people who are living around. So one of the things that you'll say is that, this is just another accident, and accidents happens all the time. But the most important question I want us to answer is that, is there a motivation to really resolve these consistent errors that are, or consistent crashes, especially with regards to the Boeing planes? And this is a subject of major controversies. Boeing planes, especially the 787 Dreamliner and related planes, have been always a subject of contention because of one mistake or one decision that the company made that are consistently being a subject of reference whenever a crash like this happens. And one of them was that during the COVID-19 time, the company employed software engineers or programmers from third world countries such as India, or people who are not less experienced, to write its critical code base for almost $5 per hour. I don't know, I'll display the correct figure on the screen, but it was such a low figure that someone who is aware of what happened in the writing of these critical components of the Boeing plane will really be second guessing when they are trying to board any plane that has been designed by Boeing. But this is not the first time that this issue is coming up. In the United States, for example, the government have consistently scrutinized and analyzed all the controversies surrounding Boeing. But the conflict of interest is, if the government goes hard on Boeing and stops its operations, then the economic impact that it can have in the United States, the company, and the number of people who are employed by the company will be huge. So there is always economic interest that the only person who can solve this issue is the government of the United States, but also they have a vested economic interest in letting Boeing continue to operate. So it's something that we have to balance. Is it really worth it keeping a conglomerate whose CEO is earning 100 million plus a month, a year, whose CEO is earning 100 million plus a year, and then employing engineers at $5 an hour and leaving loss of thousands of hundreds of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands if this thing continues in fatal plane crash. And I think the Air India crash is an eye-opener to all of us, everybody, that there is something that at some point someone will just say enough is enough. I think this is the moment that we will say enough is enough. We are tired of corporate bureaucracy, and we cannot just continue pumping money into the pockets of one person and sacrificing all the lives and properties that are going to be destroyed even in years to come. The Boeing case is a case that is highly controversial, but it is time that we can say that human lives and property is more than the economic interest of a single entity. I know most of these articles are written by racist people who are highly racist. So it's not very important to know where these engineers were coming from, whether they were from India or from any other country. But the most important thing is that as a software engineer, if someone pays you $9 an hour to do any task, however experienced you are, you will never have the time to optimize that code to the maximum, because you are multitasking this. You cannot just be doing $9 an hour as an engineer. You will not be dedicated towards the success of this project. So Boeing, instead of hiring qualified engineers, highly paid, to design mission-critical softwares that are very important to the survival of human beings, they are hiring someone for $9 an hour and then taking $33 million a year to a single CEO. So this is not something about whether these planes are falling from the air because of mistake. It is because of fundamental rot that the economic interest will not allow us to correct. So at this point, now you can see the cause of what is happening here, because even if this software was designed during the COVID-19 time, like 2019 or 2020, such time, it still forms a fundamental component of Boeing as a company, because they rarely really have a team of qualified engineers to handle even in-house jobs, and most of these critical components are always outsourced and almost unmaintained. So this is a subject that has been raised time and time again, and we'll continue to raise it until this rot is corrected. So I don't know what you think about, guys, for this, because at this point it's very important for us to have a debate on whether having Boeing planes running or having Boeing planes flying is an existential threat to the passengers who are being carried in the plane, because each and every time an edge case happens, the plane falls down. And it's always blamed that maybe there was an issue with the cloud or the humidity or something else, but not the echo or the real issue that is at stake. So it is a very sad situation, and I will send my condolences to the victims of this fatal accident that just happened. But even as we send our condolences to the victims, we should understand that the most important thing that we should do is just not to be crybabies and say that this thing is so wrong, instead of actually correcting it and doing something like that. If it is people who are hired to make the software and the employees from Boeing or another company, then the correct thing to do is just to fire all of them and to ensure that newly highly qualified people are employed and they make a software that is born to last and highly reliable. It's always a fundamental responsibility of a CEO to correct the rot, because fish always rot from the top. So this is very sad of a situation, and I think it's time to call Boeing out for this. And I don't know what you think, guys, but that's it for now for today. Until next time, bye.